that's going. We can change it up if we want to. Keep me guessing, keep me guessing. Keep me guessing, keep me guessing. It's like ooh la la, ooh la la. It's not hard to say how I feel. It's like ooh la la, ooh la la. It's kinda easy now cause it's real. Hey. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Well, hi everybody. How are you? Welcome to Story and Art. It's good to have you here. Let me pull my chair up. Oh my goodness. Well, if you're joining for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're part of the bucket filling brigade, it's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. This is something I look forward to so much, so much. So we have Linda and Fatima here. Fatima, I saw you earlier on Sonia's while she was painting. And yes, we were talking about the bears. Otis has not been seen that I know of at Brooks Falls. I haven't checked in a couple of days on explore.org. There's been a lot of drama this year in and amongst the bears, though. Chunk attacked great one of Grazer's new cubs, new kois, and there was all kind of thing. And the koi is, last I heard, the koi was coming along, was hurt fairly badly, but they thought it was going to survive. There's been all kinds of stuff going on. Battles for the bears of who's in charge, who's there, and they're getting big. Walker 151 is there. Chunk just kind of showed up big to start with and has just kind of been Mr. Dominant, and 747's there, and but Grazer has been just an amazing mom with her little ones. It's just pretty cool to watch her do that, what she does. So but I haven't been on for a couple days to see the bears because, well, we've been working on the shed, on the art thing, and as of this afternoon, the second shelf or collapsible workbench was in. The carpet was put back in where I'd had to have a little bit pieces out. Those were put in. I put the final trim on the back wall. And so if you look from like the upper part of this wall down, everything looks great. The ceiling, still, all the pieces are in. It just needs a bit of trim work to make it kind of look not like it's a puzzle piece put together. But, you know, I'm kind of embracing the imperfect out there because that's what art is all about. It's embracing that imperfect, perfectly imperfect. So I've been packing stuff up out of here and moving it out there so that this area becomes more, this little corner can be my recordings and video studio area. But the rest of the room can be taken back and utilized by both Bob and I, and not be completely overwhelmed with art stuff everywhere. And yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. Getting there. Yay. And I definitely need this quiet time. Oh, yes. Yes. Chunk is cute. He is cute. He is a huge bruiser. And, but yeah, he's gotten himself into a little bit of issues at picking fights with people, and Yeah, he's kind of been being a bully this year. So, oh well. Bears will be bears. And it's kind of fun. So, tonight, for stories, I have two for sure, maybe three. We'll see how I do. I haven't this first one I'm going to do. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take. But it kind of it was about somebody I'd never heard of, and y- you'll get a sense of it when I tell you about who it was. But what what this led me to talk about was it is about a lady named Lottie Reininger, and a pair of scissors. The book is called Cut, and she did some silhouette work. And to start off, I wanted to share with you because I've told you the story of my aunt, Auntie Kay. She wasn't really my aunt. My dad and her husband were cousins, um, but we they lived in Harrow, Washington, and we lived out in Titan. We went to the same church. And we oftentimes hung out together afterwards. Um, they had three kids. Um, um, oh my gosh, Pam, um, Carol, and Dawn. Okay, so Donnie is like Sarah's age. Carol and my sister Carolyn are the same age, and Pam and Patty are the same age. Um, and Annie Kay was a high school art teacher, but she was also a silhouette artist. And I wanted to show you some of her work that she'd done. Oops, here, that's going to make it big like that. So these I was looking for Kay or Walker, silhouette of a young girl, Sharon Johnson. These were on Etsy or something for sale. I know that she had an exhibit they had done of her work in Yakima at the museum there after she passed. She studied in France and was a silhouette. She did all her silhouette work with manicure scissors. And she didn't draw and sketch around. And I'll pull this down a little bit, I'll pull you up so you can see. Well, hey, let me get back over here so you can see. There, back that down. On this little bit here, all of these little pieces were so the paper is all one piece. It's not bits and pieces collaged together. She would start with a piece of black paper, and you would have to sit in profile. I sat many a times in profile, and she would cut this out, and the curls that she'd get, and the bits in the hair, and the eyelashes. You can see there the eyelashes on that are just amazing what she would do. Like here's one. See, oh, hold it. I can't click there. I got to click here. So, there. That was from 1947. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to try to make it bigger so you can see it better. There we go. Come on. Oh, why is it doing that? Oh, well. But you can see there's eyelashes and the braids. And so for us and in my family, this was something that Annie Kay did all the time. For all of us, every year, we would sit down. She would always be like at the fair and doing this, and then at holiday times. At certain times, she would get all of us together and she would do these beautiful silhouettes of us. And so I think Patty has the ones of all of us. And it was just an amazing thing because she would sit there and chat with you and you would try to sit really still, but she would cut and it was so perfect. And all the little curls and all the little things, it was just one of those just magical kind of things to have happen that you would see at the end. Um, and this has, and she always signed them like this, K or Walker, and then the name of whoever she was doing this for. It's funny to see some of these show up on Etsy. Um, but yeah, that's not her, by the way. That's another K or. But let's see. Yep. So imagine having her as your high school um, art teacher. Yeah, that would be fun. Where did they go? There I am, back there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do a little bit with this. So, the author of this book is a person. Here we go. She's CE Winners, and this is her debut book, which is for she fell in love with movies and books when she was growing up in Southern California, and she holds a degrees in drama and English from the University of California, Irvine. Cut: How Lottie Reininger and a Pair of Scissors Revolutionized Animation, illustrated by Matt Shue, is her first picture book. And I also saw that she won an Oregon Book Award, and then the illustrator Matt Shue. Let's see. Oops, did I get to him? I got it. Oh, here. There we go. He is also from Portland. His work is he's done several more books, but his work has a definite, distinct style to it. And it really fits with this time of silent movies that Lottie Reininger worked in. So I'm excited to show that to you guys too. So let me go back to, here's the book. We'll shut this back down. Oops. Nope, we're going to go to here. There we go. And this is the book, Cut, by CE Winners and Matt Shue. But I want to read a little bit of what this person was just beforehand. When she first picked up a pair of scissors and created her silhouettes, Lottie Reininger drew upon a long multicultural history of paper art and shadow plays. Artistic paper cutting originated in China and eventually traveled to countries around the world, including Lottie's home country of Germany, where the art form became known as Scherenschnitt, I think. Lottie developed her love of shadow puppetry as a child in the early 1900s and carried that passion through her entire filmmaking career. She was known for her lightning-quick, highly detailed cutting skills. Many of Lottie's filmmaking accomplishments, the oldest surviving full-length animated film, the first multiplane camera, the invention of a process called storyboarding that involves sketching and mapping out ideas for a film, have been credited to a more well-known figure in animation history, Walt Disney. Film historians agree that Disney didn't steal or necessarily even know about Lottie's work and inventions, but Disney's animations achievements in 1930s America have received far more attention than Lottie's achievements in 1920s Germany. Several of her films were lost or destroyed, which also caused people to overlook her career. My hope in writing this book is to bring Lottie Reininger out from the shadows of history, to set the record straight about her contributions to the field of animation, and to inspire young artists and inventors to let their imaginations soar well beyond traditional limits, just as Lottie did. You can still find the influence of Lottie's silhouettes in modern-day movies, TV series, and illustrations, and on the covers of numerous books. That was the author's note. I wanted to share that before we jump into the book. Cut. See what the Imagineers... Yeah, Annie Kay was an incredibly talented woman. Just absolutely amazing. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Cut: How Lottie Reininger and a Pair of Scissors Revolutionized Animation. I love this opening. Think silent movies. Let's see. I don't need quite that much light on this. I'm going to turn this light off. Hang on, guys. Let me at least turn it around. Maybe. There. There. That's better. When Lottie was little, movies were new. Her grandmother took her to the theaters of Berlin, Germany. They watched movies that were silent but filled with magical sights. Up on the screen, characters vanished in puffs of smoke. Villains changed their appearance in the blink of an eye. Objects and scenery moved about as though alive. I want to make this type of magic, thought Lottie. But she didn't know anything about making movies. What Lottie did know plenty about was a form of art called Scherenschnitt, a German word meaning scissor cuts. She would pick up a pair of scissors and snip, snip, snip. She cut characters out of paper, silhouettes. She decided to bring her paper figures to life and use them to tell stories, as if she was a filmmaker. She cut out different sections of a character's body and connected the pieces using wire, creating bendable joints, like elbows and knees. She could then make her figures move. Lottie built her own puppet theater, and she and her silhouette characters entertained her classmates and teachers with performances of Romeo and Juliet and other plays by William Shakespeare. But she dreamed of entertaining much larger audiences. When Lottie grew a little older, she went to a theater and heard a famous actor and director, Paul Wegener, give a speech. He explained the importance of the camera in movie making and said he used mirrors and other tricks to change what audiences saw on screen. He talked about animation and movie magic. Lottie rushed home and asked her parents if she could attend the acting school where Paul Wegener taught, so she might one day make movies with him. Eventually, they said yes. Even at acting school, Lottie carried around a pair of scissors and paper. While waiting backstage for her chance to perform, she snapped open her scissors. She cut silhouettes of the actors striking dramatic poses on stage. She showed her artwork to Mr. Wegener, hoping he would see that she was talented enough to make movies. Snip, snip, snip. Soon enough, her plan worked. Mr. Wegener asked Lottie to cut words and pictures out of paper to appear between scenes and help tell the stories in his silent films. Lottie became a part of his movie-making team. But she wanted to learn to do more. Next, Mr. Wegener taught Lottie about stop motion animation, a camera trick that made objects look like they were moving. In an old German village, Lottie placed fake wooden rats on a cobblestone street. She hid in a cellar while a camera operator took a picture of the rats. Then she crawled back out to nudge the little rodents a fraction of an inch further. She hid again. The camera captured another picture. Lottie repeated this process over and over and over and over for hours. Move, stop. Move, stop. In the finished film, all those pictures of the rats flowed together and created the illusion of movement on the screen. The wooden rats appeared to scamper across the road just like real rats. Movie magic. Paul Wegener also introduced Lottie to a group of artists and filmmakers at the Institute for Cultural Research, a Berlin studio that produced movies and animations that looked new and different. Snip, snip, snip. With the help of other members of the studio, Lottie designed and directed one of the world's first animated silhouette movies, The Ornament of the Loving Heart, a 4-minute love story with dancing shadows. Snip, snip, snip. Audiences loved The Ornament of the Loving Heart so much that Lottie got a chance to make more short films at the studio. Films inspired by fairy tales and legends. Other studios invited her to create silhouette scenes for their movies. Publishers asked her to illustrate books. During the same time, Lottie fell in love with her camera operator, Carl Koch, who was also a filmmaker and an art historian. The couple soon married. One day, a banker and supporter of the arts named Louis Hagen observed Lottie working in the studio. He asked, "Would you like to do a full-length silhouette film?" "I don't think one can do that," said Lottie. "Animated films are supposed to make people roar with laughter, and nobody has dared entertain an audience with them for more than 10 minutes. "Well, I would be interested," said Mr. Hagen, and he gave Lottie enough film to create a movie that would run well over an hour long. He also offered her a room at his home to use as a studio. Despite her doubts, Lottie was inspired to meet this giant animation challenge. She gathered a small team of animators, including her husband, and traveled to the studio at Mr. Hagen's house. She sketched and mapped out ideas. Lottie cut silhouette characters and scenery from sheets of lead and black cardboard. She planned to place her silhouettes on a sheet of glass over a special table called a tricktich, her trick table. Light bulbs would shine up through the glass and turn her designs into shadows and light. A camera would point down at her silhouettes. But Lottie worried that her scenes might look too flat, like drawings in a book. For a movie this major, she wanted to give her animation the illusion of depth, as though some things were close and others far away. To solve the problem, Lottie designed a wooden tower that allowed the camera to gaze down on her table from several feet above. She built the structure so it would hold multiple layers of glass. She positioned her silhouette characters on an upper sheet of glass, while one of her team members set up backgrounds on a lower sheet. When everything looked just right, a team member took a picture. Lottie then moved her characters a fraction of an inch on the layer of glass, just as she had done with the wooden rats, but the background scenery stayed the same. The camera captured another picture. Move, stop, move, stop. In the finished scenes, her characters appeared to be closer to the audience than the distant background art. And if Lottie placed scenery on upper layers of glass and characters on lower ones, the scenery looked closer. Her silhouette figures performed in fantastical three-dimensional world. Lottie had invented the multiplane camera. Lottie spent nearly 3 long years making her full-length animated movie, but when it was finished, theaters refused to show it. "No one wants to see an hour-long cartoon," said the theater owners. And Lottie and her team had been working on their film quietly without any publicity, so the theaters also said, "We don't know who you are." With the help of a friend, Lottie found an out-of-the-way theater in the north of Berlin that agreed to show her movie. Lottie and Carl wrote out 8,000 invitations by hand, asking people to come and see her one-of-a-kind film. On Sunday morning in May 1926, a large, curious crowd piled into the theater. Live orchestra music rose into the air. A movie projector clicked and whirred in the shadows. Lottie's new movie, The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, flickered to life across the screen. For 65 breathtaking minutes, the audience fell under the spell of Lottie's creation. They applauded her work throughout the entire film. The Adventures of Prince Ahmed dazzled people so much that it traveled to theaters in France, England, Japan, and eventually the United States. She has fairy hands, audiences said of Lottie as they exited the doors of the film's French premiere. The young woman with lightning-quick fingers and a mind dancing with ideas proved that, yes, people were willing to watch animated movies for much longer than 10 minutes. Lottie would make approximately 60 silhouette films over the course of her long life. She even made some of them while fleeing across Europe before and during World War II. When she and Carl returned to Germany to care for Lottie's sick mother, she made a film during the bombing of Berlin while hiding in a basement. She made others for the brand new world of television after she moved to the calm and safety of England. Primrose Productions, Lottie Reininger, silhouette film. She created every single one of those films using a pair of scissors, a great deal of patience, and her talented hands. Her trailblazing ideas and silhouette style influence filmmakers and artists to this day. Snip, snip, snip. The end. Oh, how cool is that? She and Carl moved to London in 1949. They returned to Germany in 1943 to take care of Lottie's sick mother. In 1944, she made the short film Die Golden Gans, The Golden Goose, while hiding in a basement during the bombing of Berlin. And they Lottie and Carl flee Germany in 1935 after Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party take control of the country. Lottie continues to make her films across Europe. She was born June 2nd of 1899. And she died in 1981 in Germany, just after her 82nd birthday, after designing and directing approximately 60 silhouette films. Wow. The only thing the book needed was translation on how to say the words, the German words. Wow. Isn't that amazing? A light box. Hey, Layla. How are you, hon? Grandma, good morning. It's Layla. I'm with Buddy here. Hi, Buddy. Hi, Lachlan. How are you? Did you guys like that story? I was showing pictures of Auntie Kay, who was your great-granddad's cousin's wife, and she used to do those silhouette type of things all over the place. All those pictures, they're on Aunt Patty's wall. But yeah, oh my goodness. Let me go back up here. There I am again. So that was Cut, how Lottie Reininger and a pair of scissors revolutionized animation. So imagine that she had to fight for somebody wanting to watch a animated film that was longer than 10 minutes because she made one that was an hour. Gee, that's like all of our movies now, animated movies are longer than that. Any cartoon. My goodness. All right. So that was my first book for tonight. That was the kind of biography one. The next one is just kind of fun. And it has to do when I said in my pockets. Because pockets, well, we always had little things you stuffed in your pockets, and little Annie Kay would give us things when we were doing it. She would give us candy to put in our pockets or to eat, to have in our pocket after we were done with the silhouette. If we sat still, she'd had candy for us and we could take off with it and stuff. But this is another book too called Pockets for Two, a collection of girlhood. So Lindsay Ward is the author who did this book. She's done almost 24 books, including Jessie, Queen of the Road, and The Capital Meets the Nation's Capital book, and Pink is Not a Color. She lives in Ohio with her husband and 3 boys, 1 dog, and a flock of ducks. And Brizida Magro is the illustrator, and she was originally from Portugal and now lives in Boulder, Colorado with her 2 cats and her partner. She's illustrated several books, including Let Me Call You Sweetheart and Saturday at the Food Pantry. She loves to rock climb and wandering the world. But this story, the author says, and I get a kick out of this, because who has not reached into their kids' pockets, if they have kids, and found stuff in there? Oh my gosh. Lachlan, I know you are always putting things in your pockets. Bryn used to have things all over the place. Author's note: as a kid, I collected treasures constantly. Everything was new and precious and wondrous. Now, as a mother, my 3 boys are filling their pockets endlessly with anything from everything. Worms, eek, seashells, string, feathers, jewels, which are really bits of broken plastic they found buried in the dirt, and acorn hats, to name a few. But my boys have pockets to fill. I don't remember having pockets. I remember using oversized sweatshirt pouches, purses, buckets, or tiny boxes to keep my treasures. I never thought much about it until I was older and discovered that for a long time, girls' clothing wasn't made with pockets. I think, but you know, there is that picture that of all my sisters and I'm like 4. And my dress has pockets, but my mom made it. And she knew that I needed some, well, she made pockets for anything that I had because she knew she would have to tell me to put my hands in my pockets so I didn't touch things and get in trouble. But that's interesting that girls' clothing didn't have pockets. I was shocked. How else would we carry our precious treasures from girlhood? I'm the woman who will buy a dress simply because it has pockets. So I wrote this story for the girls like me, the ones who love to be knee-deep in mud with their boots while still embracing the girl inside them. Whatever that may mean for each girl, but this is for my boys too, for all the kids who magically look at each thing they find with wonder, caring for it like a treasure to be held tight inside a pocket. Layla, I think your mom's wedding dress had pockets. I think. Could be wrong, but I think it might have had. So this book is called Pockets for Two. There it is. And I'll bring myself back up. Yay. Oh, I'm probably going to move my keyboard over here. Yay. Pockets for Two, a collection of girlhood. By Lindsay Ward and Brizida Magro. I love the artwork, you guys, in this. This is just, watch this artwork as I'm going through the pages, how things, like little collections of things in it, and then the like the bunny here and the sweater, the texture has her hair. I just love the way it's done. Pockets are for hiding when things are strange and new, small and warm to tuck inside until you're not afraid. Pockets are for nervous hands when your voice is feeling small. Take your time, look around. You'll find a friendly face. Pockets are for folded notes, scribbled between blue lines. 5 little letters just for you spell hello, Hello. Pockets are for games, played with brand new friends. A piece of chalk, a yo-yo string, a matchbox car to race. A pattern of squares marks the ground. Ready? I call out. You smile wide and give a toss, hopping out to 10. Hopscotch. Oh, and hula hoop. All the things we played. Hopscotch and hula hoops. Oh. And jacks. Are they playing jacks? Oh, no, they're doing string cars over here. Pockets are for tiny wonders, found while we play. A spotted feather, an acorn's hat, a pebble smooth and blue. Let's keep them safe like buried treasure to discover another day. Backpack. Pockets are for snacks, shared between two friends. We take a side, then twist to split. I get cookie, you get cream. But you quickly swap them back because you know cream's my favorite. Pockets are for wiggly worms buried deep in mud because I'm not scared and you're not scared, and that makes you the best. Roly-polies, ladybugs, and frogs that jump so high, carefully collected, we count out all their spots. Pockets are for small surprises, one for you and me. Bits of pink, blue, and green braided tight for two. Made with love, I'll tie yours and you tie mine. The forever kind of tight. The poppies and the collage work is cool. Pockets are for staying warm when snowflakes start to fall. Huddled close we whisper, noses tipped bright pink. We'll share our dreams when the world is quiet. Imagine what we'll be. Look up high into the sky. We'll fly up to the moon. I'll drive the rocket and you'll collect the rocks because spacesuits have pockets too. Pockets are for love notes, handmade with purple glitter, confetti hearts, and big red letters that read BFF. Inside you'll find, you are my favorite. Signed by me, XOXO. You pull out a small pink box. My favorite candied hearts. Pockets are for marshmallows, stashed during field day. I sneak one, then you sneak two. Let's show them what we got. Oh, marshmallow races. Pockets are for something lost. After you've searched and searched and searched, a tiny hole lets treasures slip out and find another home. Maybe one that's far from here, discovered by new hands. But not to worry. Pockets are for mending, to help keep things in place. Pockets are for tissues when you're feeling blue. This is Bunny. Just hold on tight. I've got cookies too. Pockets are for presents as we say goodbye. Shiny beads strung together in all your favorite colors. A double knotted bow so this one won't get lost. We hug each other tight But don't forget, our adventures have just begun because pockets are for discovering together each and every day. What have you got in your pockets? Hey. Ah. What'd you think of that one, Lachlan? So Layla is here with Lachlan. Lachlan is my grandson. Is this a live or a preview of the video? It's alive. It's alive, Layla. It's alive. See it there. There, I'm back. Yep, it's alive. So that was Pockets for Two, a collection of girlhood. That was fun. I just thought that was a cute book. And let's see, what are we at? We're at 7:11. I have room for one more. If you can handle one more, I can do one more. I have one more that has to go back to the library. It has nothing to do with the other two books. No pockets. This is just called, it's a pretty book by Malika Chopra. Yes, Malika Chopra. Mom, media entrepreneur, public speaker, and published author. She's the author of the Just Be series, Just Breathe, Just Feel, and Just Be You, as well as the picture book, My Body is a Rainbow, The Color of My Feeling. She taught meditation to thousands of people and enjoys speaking to audiences around the world with intention, balance, and living life and purpose. I think she's Deepak Chopra's daughter. And it's illustrated by Neha Rawat, who is an award-winning children's book illustrator from India. And she spent a few years working as an engineer before her passion for art and visual storytelling led her to specialize in children's illustration. Neha can be found cuddling dogs, doing yoga, and hiking when not working in her studio. Whew. Oh, Layla, by the way, your Bampa today said he was watching the volleyball U.S. women's volleyball team, and he decided he thinks that you would be really good at volleyball. Grandma Goo was really good at volleyball. That was my sport. But he thinks that you should play when you get to junior high. Just saying. He thinks you'd like it. It's very cool. You should. The women are going to be playing for gold. They beat Brazil in the semifinals. So, yeah, they're playing for gold next. All right. I'm going to go with this story called Buddha and the Rose. If I stop getting distracted and telling my grandkids stuff. Okay. My friend Shannon says that pink is not a color. Snails. Only pockets would be in aprons. I had a rabbit's foot too. Collection store than I did as a kid. Hula hoops were so much fun. So I'll go back here. Who remembers putting holes in their hula hoops so that they could add in rocks so that they made sound when they wrote, when you did them? That was a fun thing. That was before it became, you could buy them eventually. Somebody figured out that kids were doing that, putting holes in their hula hoops and then putting rocks in so that they would make noise. And then somebody came up with a commercialized version that had it. You could buy them. They made them that, all those kind of crazy things. Yay. Oh, yeah. Gymnastics, yeah. But maybe Deepak. That was the sport that if I had played a sport in college, I didn't know that they had it available at college, that our counselor didn't let us know. I was on varsity volleyball and I was good. I loved it. It was so much fun. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We put rocks in our hula hoops because then they made all kinds of swishy noises. You had a weighted hula hoop for exercise. This was when I was little. So this was when I was like 6, and that whole, and I could still move like that. Craziness. All right. Sip of water and the last book of the day. The rocks they made cool. This is Buddha and the Rose, Malika Chopra, illustrated by Niwa Rawat. And it's just a beautiful book. It's got to go back to the library. The library's calling. Author's note. Buddha was a teacher who lived more than 2,500 years ago and helped people see the world differently, with more love and compassion. People came to visit him from distant lands to hear his words, to be inspired, to find comfort in their suffering, and to understand their purpose in life. This story of Buddha and the Rose is adapted from one of his famous talks. It is told from the perspective of Sujata, a milkmaid who brought Buddha the rice pudding to break his fast after meditating on the nature of existence. Sujata could be considered Buddha's first student. Buddha sat, a rose in his hand, still. He gazed at the flower and smiled. It was a smile from inside, a smile of peace, of gratitude, of quiet joy. A smile that swept across the crowd, and the feeling was happiness. He turned to all of us and waited patiently for us to see silence. I could hear the wind, the breathing of those around me. Someone said, "I don't understand. What does he mean?" Another whispered, "Why isn't he saying anything?" He sat, still silent. No words. Present. Just being. I looked at the rose in his hand. I was confused, so I closed my eyes. I took a breath in and out. I opened my eyes. And I saw it. In that moment, I felt totally awake, alive, like I had never felt before. And I saw the rose in all its glory. I saw the deep, rich colors of each rose petal, the petals perfectly placed, giving the flower its special shape. I smelled the scent of the rose drifting toward me, a perfume sweet, delicate, yet so powerful. And I sensed its journey, a seed that had traveled through space and time to find its sacred place in the ground. I felt the warmth of the sun on the dirt, the energy flowing up through its stem, its thorns, and its leaves. I felt the coolness of the black night, glittering with all the stars in the galaxy. I felt the moment before the seed chose to blossom into a flower. I saw the clouds, the rain, and the rainbows. I saw a double rainbow. I saw the insects feeding the soil. I heard birds singing and dancing in circles around the rose. And there were bees making sweet honey. I saw children sweetening their food with the same honey. I saw beautiful flowers in the temple and at festivals, people praying, dancing, celebrating. I saw couples marrying and with garlands on their necks and rose petals spread on the ground by their feet. I felt love, joy, eternity. I closed my eyes, taking in a beauty I never before knew existed. I opened my eyes. I gasped. I saw myself looking at the rose. I saw the earth, the sun, the stars and the galaxy around me, and I knew I was magic and special, just like the rose. I felt grateful for all that had brought me to this place, to this moment to truly see the rose, to truly see myself as part of the whole of this magnificent universe. I looked at Buddha's face and saw that he knew I understood, and all I could do was smile. Mm. I just had to share that one. Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly. Try the great for high jump and pole vault too. Try all the different sports of interest, then choose the one that brings you the most joy. Yes, she's great at basketball. Tall and I've always wanted to gym. Says I'm already too tall and oh, yeah. Yeah, gymnastics, you know, your mom did gymnastics when she was little, and so did your Auntie Bryn. And then they were just too tall. Because, yeah, it's hard when you're that tall to do those back bends all the way and do a back bend and reach down and all that kind of stuff. Craziness. Anyway, but whatever. Both you and Buddy will be wonderful at whatever you choose to do. How's swim lessons going, Buddy? How's swim team? Oh my gosh. Yay. You've been watching the swimming? We watched it. It was so much fun. Anyway, you guys, that was the 3 stories I had for tonight. Sunday, when I'm back, is show and tell night. So send in your art. All right? Layla, if you want to send some, you can text it to me. That's easier than emailing it. You can do that. But everybody else, just send it in. You know the email. And who else? Who else was here? So Fatima. Yeah. And we will have show and tell on Sunday night. Saturday, I am going back to Yakima. It is Gospel Press Reunion, and that was a singing group I was in all through high school. And early on, we toured all over. We made a record or 2. But our youth director, Sunny Salisbury, who was our director of the whole thing, is declared that this will be the last reunion. Sunny's getting up there in age. And so he's having another reunion. That it will be okay. It's just like right today I was like, oh, I don't want to drive over, but I do really want to go over it because a lot of the people I saw last weekend for my high school reunion, or a couple weekends ago, but this time it will be for Gospel Press. It'll be a whole different group, so that'll be fun. And the shed is coming along. I've been taking little video snips of it, and I'm starting to move stuff out there. Like I said, I have it almost all together to actually, I got a booster to put out there for Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna got a thing that you can actually run hardwire internet through a electrical outlet. It's a cable adapter. It gives you hardwired Ethernet through your electrical plug, so you don't have to run the wires. You just have to have it plugged in and hooked to the router, and then it pairs up through your electrical wires. That's for down here. I'll get that set up, and then I'll put the booster out in the studio, I think. Or I'll do the other way around. Who knows? We'll see. But so, might be able to read from out there or do some painting and stuff from out there. But yes, and Layla and Lachlan, when you come up here, acts like he doesn't like to swim, but he does. Buddy, you're so good. I tell you, you are so. Bampa had sent me videos of you. You're so good, man, alive. And you make your mom's just smile, make her heart glow when she does that. Create a montage, yeah, of the whole thing. I have a bunch of little videos of it, and so I'm gonna put them together, kind of shorts and stuff. But that should be good. It's gonna take me a bit of time to do that, though. I'm moving everything out there. So Layla and Lachlan, next time you come up, we have an full out art studio out there where we can make a whole lot of messes. I'm moving everything out of the garage up there, and it's very cool. Well, you saw the shed that I had built when you were here last time, how it was doing. Well, it's done. It's done. Yeehaw. All right, you guys, that is it for Story and Art today. Thank you so much. It means a great deal to me that you come and join me in this, and you hit that thumbs up and you share this out to people and make your comments, because that's what makes other people come and see. And, you know, I like to share this with everybody. But until next time, you guys, I'll be here working on this stuff. I'll go to Yakima. I'll have everything else. I'll have more stories for you. But until I see you again here, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your mirror. See you on Sunday.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Ooh, feeling alright. We won't go home, we will just stay here downtown.
Thanks, Layla and Lachlan, for being here, and Linda and Fatima. It's so nice to have you guys here.
Light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no
And if there's any listeners,
I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard. They're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards. I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be shameless.